Destiny 2 Season 19 is right around the corner, but something doesn't feel right in the world of Destiny. Season of the Plunder brought us content week after week all the way up to where we are now, but somehow we are in the lowest player population Destiny has seen in a while. Even last year when Destiny was at its worst, people still signed in each week, so what has changed? And what is up guys, Andrew from the Denmen here, and today I want to take a look at some of Destiny's shortcomings and some ways to bring Destiny back to being the game we all enjoy. We have a lot to talk about, so make sure you hit that like button and comment what you think Bungie needs to do for the game. With that being said, we have a lot to go over today, so get comfy, relax a little, and let's get right into the video. So first thing we need to do is take a look at what we've gotten so far, or the lack of what we've gotten in Season of the Plunder. By doing this, we will be able to map out what Bungie could do in the future for the game. Now if we just look at content as a whole, Season of the Plunder had some of the most we have ever seen. This year in general saw a great leap in advancement when it came to the seasonal model, but like I said, something just doesn't feel right. Season of the Plunder brought us a lot of content including Catch Crash, which is the 6-player match-made activity and one of the better seasonal ones we have seen. Expeditions goes alongside Catch Crash as a 3-player match-made activity and just adds on to the season as a whole. And on top of that all, we got a weekly story mission that took us through reskin versions of old lost sectors. Like I said, from a content side, it would seem like we have gotten the most that we have seen. There's still so much that was launched alongside the new season as well, with the reprised King's Fall raid, new weapons, and exotic armor pieces. But for some reason, players are still being driven away by other content and lack of content, like the Elixir Quarter event in Telesto Week. Destiny hype was at a new level during Telesto Week because the community felt that there was a hidden objective Bungie was trying to make us find. Of course this didn't happen, with it being just a fun little gag for the game. This is just another way that Bungie has starved the community for new and unique content instead of giving us the same seasonal activity that lasts 2 weeks. It was definitely a missed opportunity for Telesto Week, and I hope that Bungie looks to make something a little deeper involved further into Lightfall and beyond. The same could be said for the Elixir Quarter event, with the changes to the location being both minimal and lackluster. Again, this is not something that I want to see go away. I think that community events do have a place in Destiny, but done right. It shouldn't feel like it was something thrown together in 5 minutes or less and have good rewards to incentivize the player to actually do it. Bungie still hasn't been able to get these right, but I hope they don't give up on them entirely going forward. In my opinion, a big reason why less people are playing and wanting to come back to the game is the lack of meaningful content and core activities. Seasonal content is great and all, but it isn't meant to last. They are made with the intent that people will play them for 3 months and move on to the next activity just in time for the big expansion, which in this occasion is going to be Lightfall. So if Bungie even recognizes that this content is not meant to last, why would the player base enjoy it for more than a month or so? It takes more than a new activity to keep the game alive and well, and they are starting to get better at it. We are getting one piece of endgame content, whether that be a raid or dungeon each season, but again, we need to encompass more than just that. Something that players have been asking for a long time now is a renewed focus on core activities. These include your Vanguard strikes, Crucible, and yes, even Gambit. It is crazy to think that we were once getting 2 to 3 strikes per DLC, with it even going as far as 4 sometimes. But the fact is that we were always getting new things for the Vanguard playlist. PvP as well used to be a big focus for the game, with us getting new modes and new maps regularly for each big expansion, and kept the game lively by doing this. When the game is at its worst, the core activities keep players engaged, and on Destiny, we have not seen them as a top priority as of late. We have gotten only one new map this year, and that is a step up from the seasons of Beyond Light, which is crazy to think about. Even maps from Destiny 1 or vaulted ones in Destiny 2 would be better than nothing, and I know, we have gotten them with the latest being Cathedral of Dusk, but the map rotation as a whole has been some of the worst they have been ever. Maps like Asylum and Frontier were very fun to play on and would be very interesting to see how it plays in Destiny 2. We are getting an update to the competitive rankings, with it looking to be an actual ranking system, but this is just the start for PvP as a whole. New maps will be a breath of fresh air, but we already know that it won't be a while until we get any substantial drop, so it is hard to think that Bungie will change how they are. Then there's Gambit, which has definitely been forgotten by the community and by Bungie. It's a shame that it went from a game mode that had a lot of potential when it was released to how it is now. There is no type of competitive mode for Gambit, and this seems like a big missed opportunity. Any type of content at this point would be beneficial for the playlist, but this also seems very unlikely. It would be nice to see them have a competitive playlist very similar to how Crucible will be, but there is a lot that needs to change before we get anything like this. I think it's obvious that Gambit needs a change or an entire revitalization of the game mode, so I hope we will be getting that sooner rather than later. This will only let players have more ways to play, and that is not a bad thing at all. Vanguard Strikes, although one of the more updated playlists, is still pretty lackluster at best. There is a certain mechanic from Destiny 1 that Bungie refuses to add to the game for some reason, and it will increase player activity in the Strike playlist exponentially. Strike-specific loot was added for Year 1 and Year 2 of Destiny 2, but Bungie started to slowly walk themselves back from having to make it in Year 3, and now doesn't even exist at all. People will no doubt enjoy them adding this back into the game and should have been implemented a long time ago. I realize that this has been the focus for GMs and Nightfalls as a whole, but for those who can't do Grandmasters or choose not to, can benefit from just hopping into a strike and enjoying their time in the playlist. They are also missing a great opportunity to add very interesting modifiers back in from Destiny 1. Most of the time, I don't even bother looking at all the modifiers except for the Singe. I remember back in the day, it would be hilarious to fight a boss when Solar Burn was active when you had a weapon like Galahorn, and you are not just getting the same feeling anymore. Bringing in new modifiers will lead into Bungie going further into this and hopefully bring back the fun factor of these strikes. At the end of the day, adding 1 to 2 strikes every year is basically putting a bandage on an open head wound, because there is so much more that they could do to improve the overall experience. Adding in features like strike-specific loot and new modifiers will bring longevity to playing strikes while giving the community something to strive to get and fun alterations to it to keep it interesting. This can only increase player activity if done correctly, and with the thought that the core activities need a revamp. As a whole, Destiny isn't at its worst, but players are starting to feel that seasonal model drag, and it is starting to show in population count. I don't think that they are at the point of no return just yet, but if they continue to do the same things they are doing now, then it is only a matter of time. Even though I think that the seasonal content has been the best that it has ever been, it takes more than this to make Destiny fun and worth playing. It would definitely be nice to see a revitalization of the core activities, but we will just have to wait and see what Bungie has planned for Destiny 2. But that is all for me now though, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Comment any videos you want to see in the future, and I'll see you all next time.